All right, what's up, y'all? We are going to go over just a couple of market structure things throughout this past week. Just understanding how swings can be seen on like one time frame, but they belong to other time frames is the general idea of this video. So I'm going to jump right into it. After we created these all-time highs here, after breaking the previous one, new order flow is created just like it would be if like a 1 minute market structure broke like a 1 hour low. It's basically the same context as before. So if I mark this out, this is the general 50% zone that I was looking for a push out of. I marked this up because it had not been mitigated yet until that past Thursday last week. We just been getting taps into it. And that's part of understanding how this swing here is different than these swings on the way up and down. Different market structure. If I go back to the 4 hour, you can kind of see how different those swings look. This one's a lot more like an important looking zone because, as Dave says, like the bigger the swing, like the more highly probable it is. And especially if you're getting like taps in and out of it before hitting 50% to sweep it. That's just like a rule of thumb there with how zones work. So I had the same idea going into today and these trades. This would have been the general zone on the 1 hour. And as you can see, we had like this push out of it. We tap into the zone, but not hitting 50%. We just push out of it again. Ultimately, this is the important low I was watching to get swept today to push higher. And I will just start with that context there. So before we hit like that important low here and swept it, we were just looking at a fake flip occur right here, a fake bullish flip. Ultimately, price is just sweeping these relative like equal highs, I guess you could call them, or trend line liquidity. We sweep it, although we close above this important high. Using higher time frame context helps with that. That this is just like a fake move up to push lower. And when we push lower, we're putting in new lows on the way down, such as this. So I would have viewed this low to this high as an SNDR. I ended up taking this on the two other challenge accounts I'm working on at the moment for just a one-to-one trade. So I think that was like 7 or 8 points. We ended up pushing lower, breaking this low. All the while we broke this structural low here on the 1 hour. So with that, we got some accumulation happening here, and this is where like things can get a little bit tricky, just remembering all these different aspects to price and how it's moving through the day, because overall we're within this general zone. We had this first tap here, and now we're getting that second tap into 50%, so you can expect us to push higher. Although there wasn't much of like a 1 minute structural flip happening here, it's because we're creating new order flow. So we created this double bottom here, which I'm surprised didn't get tapped into yet. It's possible we tap into it before pushing ultimately higher, but I think that's what we're seeing there. And I was just following price from there on out because we had this new high put in with this body closure. Would have seen this as like a important low, which I didn't suspect we'd break below, because we had this general low to this high. This is a more important zone than this one would be. So I suspected that we do push higher, considering this could be seen as like the first tap of the zone. We end up getting some sort of a double top within here and push lower, but the overall higher time frame bias is bullish. So ultimately, this is just a higher time frame pullback. the same way that this would have been a higher time frame pullback as well. We didn't get 50% of this mitigated. It doesn't always have to do that because, again, we got like the first tap here because we close above, we tap, push away, and then we get the second tap here. Wasn't at 50%, but we do get candlestick structure flips happening like that sometimes. I'm not in a comfortable spot to be taking that sort of a setup. So I typically wait for like 50% to get hit. But overall, this would be like the next zone I'm looking at here. It's possible we do get candlestick structure flips happening to the upside here. And even if we come down and mitigate this zone here, you can see a push right out of there as well. So that's just different things I have in mind for today. But otherwise, yeah, I just took this one trade here, got 10 points out of it because of that candlestick structure flip. And on my other account, I'm up about the same, like 10 points or so. And yeah, this funded account, I'm just keeping it steady. This is probably like my third day of hitting like that $200 goal for the day, so I just stopped it there. Otherwise, this is all I really had to mention today. Just keep those swings in mind with like that further context of which time frame it might be combined with or just attached to. Otherwise, that's all I really had to say. So hope this was helpful. Otherwise, thanks for watching.